What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm just hanging out in my car right now getting ready to go to the gym and do a squat session and work on some mobility that I've been doing recently, and that's what this video is going to be about today, is the mobility that I've started doing for my lower body days, just to get my squats deeper and just get my body warmed up a little bit better. I think the warm-up that I was doing before, which was just a lot of dynamic stretching and kind of leg swings and all that stuff, I think that was better than nothing, but I'm probably going to start to stray from some of those things, not because they're bad, but because I have learned a lot about mobility in the last couple of weeks. I actually just got my corrective exercise specialization through NASM yesterday. I took the test and I passed, so I'm certified in that now. And just learning from different people in the industry recently, I have just really formed a passion for mobility and functionality and just getting myself into more optimal movement patterns to maximize my muscle growth and all this stuff, because when I started my fitness journey, there is no lie that I was in it for the aesthetics. I wanted to change how my body looked. I wanted to gain mass on my legs. And I have done that, and so I feel like right now a huge shift is happening in my fitness routine, and I'm still loving it because I never thought that I would be in this position only 2 years into, really starting a vigorous fitness routine, and so I didn't think I would be here, so it's really interesting to see that change in myself and not feel bad about having to stray from my lifting. Like, I'm actually prioritizing mobility, I think, over anything else at this point, and really letting my body deload and rest has become very important for me, because when I started and it was all about how I looked for me, I think that I just wanted really short-term gratification, and so I really pushed, and nothing bad really came from that. I think it was a very good thing, and I'm happy with how I look now, but I've totally shifted gears now, and it's just gonna be a different routine for me for a while, and I'm really happy about that, and I'm just so passionate about having my body be able to move so well, and I think this is gonna be such a good thing long term, me starting to incorporate this stuff into my workouts. So I'm just really excited to share this with you guys and share the changes that are happening in my life right now. I'm also making some nutritional changes, so maybe I'll make another video on that later. But yeah, I hope these mobility exercises help you if you guys are looking for a deeper squat, or you feel like you haven't been able to get the results you want from your squats. You're not seeing muscle growth. You're not getting down in the range that you want. Your hips aren't getting low enough. And just keep in mind that for every body, there is a different, set of exercises that are likely going to benefit you. So this is kind of just like a general foundation of what you can do before a squat session or a leg session. These are exercises that work for me. They may not necessarily work for you, but there's going to be no harm that comes from experimenting with them if you think that you have tight hips, or you need to fix how your ankle is functioning. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm really excited to share all these changes that are happening in my fitness journey with you, and yeah, it'll be fun. I hope you enjoy the video, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel so you can see more content like this from me. I would appreciate it. Bye. The first exercise is an archer lunge, and this really targets the external rotators, helps open up the hip, stretches your adductor, and the main objective here is I'm just trying to help my knee track directly over my ankle and toe. And as you notice, I'm doing about 4 lunges with my toe off the ground and then 4 lunges with my toe on the ground, and I'm just repeating this for 1 set. This exercise I'm doing is a runner's lunge with a thoracic rotation. So the objective of this drill is to warm up and stretch out the hip flexor on the back leg, and also get some mobility going through the thoracic spine and a little bit through the chest and shoulder using that twist. Now, if you guys notice, as I'm doing that twist, I'm only holding for 1 or 2 seconds and returning back to my initial position before doing the next rep. This is because I'm aiming for more of a dynamic stretch rather than a static one, since I am about to do a weight session. And even in that runner's lunge hold, my hold is definitely less than 30 seconds. I'm not holding it to achieve a static stretch. I am trying to just do dynamic stretches on all muscle groups. So I did 1 set of about 5 or 6 in each direction on this one. The next exercise is called an inchworm. So a few of the objectives on this one are to work on shoulder stability, a little bit of core activation, but mostly to warm up my hamstrings. So again, this is a dynamic stretch, which is really optimal before a weight session. You guys notice that I'm rarely paused in one position. I'm always moving, and a goal of mine here is to keep my knees as straight as possible as my hands come closer to my feet. I did 1 set of about 5 to 10 reps on this one. I'm working more here on my thoracic spine, and if you guys didn't know, in the majority of people, the middle of the back, which is the thoracic, is one of the most immobile spots on the entire spine. So I think it's really helpful to get that area moving, and you also get a good stretch in the top hip on this drill. So a little bit of stretch in the glute and the piriformis. And this one's just fun to do in general. I felt like I was sort of just flailing around on the ground, but it is fun. I did 1 set of about 5 reps in each direction. This next stretch is called a pigeon stretch. This is one of my all-time favorite stretches for opening up my hips and my low back. So my main objective here is to keep my shoulders and hips square to the front wall that I'm facing, and to keep my front leg at 90 degrees at the knee, which is really hard. This is going to be difficult for you if you have tight hips, so I would highly recommend grabbing a yoga block or something to support that front hip, which in my case that would be my left side. I found that I've gotten low enough on this to where I'm not straining and I don't need that support, but as you can see, I'm still not down to the floor completely, and I'm working on that. But yeah, I'm doing 1 set here, trying to hold for 30 seconds or less, just to not make this exercise an over-lengthening exercise. I am holding this a little bit longer than my other dynamic stretches, but I still do not want to overstretch my muscle before I start weights. This next one is called the 90-90 stretch. This is very similar to the pigeon stretch that was just shown. However, I consider this one a little bit more difficult, and probably for older individuals, this is not something that would be very easy to get into. So if you're a young athlete, go for it and try this one. However, if you're an older individual, I think the pigeon would work way better, and that's a good modification to this 90-90 stretch. So I'm just adding in a little bit of rotation through my back, trying to really put pressure into the floor with my knees. And I did 1 set of 30 seconds or less, or about 2 to 3 rotations each way. This last exercise targets ankle flexion, and as you guys can see, I'm trying to keep that front hip, knee, ankle all tracking in line with each other and kept in good alignment. And I'm also trying to keep my front heel planted on the ground, just trying to stretch out my ankle and my knee, and to practice that stretch so that if I do go very deep in my squat, I do not pull my knee if it happens to pass over my toe. And I'm just doing these about 5 or 6 times on each leg for one set.